Contrasting results for both of the Manchester clubs this past weekend, as City were beaten by Southampton and United smashed Bournemouth. We'll talk all about that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're going to take a look at match number 34 out of the Premier League, and we'll get to it in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Premier League related, football related. We're going to know here under one Rooski. That's right, boys and girls. Yes, no, I am coming at you ahead of the final game in the match number 33, but they do come thick and fast, folks, so I wanted to get this video out before the Matchday 34 does kick off tomorrow, which is Tuesday. In theory, this should have been online yesterday, but technical snafus, that's all I can say. But anyway, what is not a technical snafu is the Patreons, boys and girls. We have a new one. Oh, yes, that's right. William Shepherd is a Patreon. Respect to my brother. He did step up to the plate and hit a home runner, getting out of the field, sailing over the banisters or whatever they call them, and he joins the Patreon, so respect to him. Woo! I thought he makes 11, but unfortunately he was 1 in, 1 out. I don't know who. I think one of the Toms left me. But anyway, let's respect to William for joining. If you want to join William and the rest of the chasing pack, which includes Russell Frost, Cody Gaho, Tom Beresford, John Spurn, the legend, Aztec Marky B. Mark, No Code Drinker, Daniel Miller, Bianca Muller, and of course LG and Cow. There is a link down below in the old description, patreon.com/Roverseas. But thank you, Will. Does mean a bunch to me, Patreons. It puts a smile on my face. It gives me that extra push, extra desire to keep going, to keep ploughing on, despite Blackburn Rovers getting battered left, right, and centre each and every weekend. So, but anyway, enough about that. Let's jump into the thick of things to take a little look at how I got on, and then we're going to take a little look at how you guys got on with match number 33. That's right, we're talking about the Premier League. Here we go, jumping into the deep end here. Now, the criteria do wobble a little bit, but I'm going to go with this one for the time being. 0 to 4, you're in the shit-face gang. 5 to 7, you're in the straight-face club. And 8 plus, you're in the top banana. I think there's a couple of those guys, bad boys, today. So let's have a look at how I got on. Okay then, of course, match number 33 kicked off probably on Saturday, the 4th of July, that's right. And we're going to start with actually a game that took place on Sunday, the 5th of July, that's right. It's Burnley against Sheffield United. All ended up 1-1 in the end. Tarkowski opened up the scoring for them, six-fingered Frikazoids. And then John Egan, the ledge, made it all square for Sheffield United. 1-1 in the end. I actually went with a 2-1 win for them Freakazoids, but I was wrong. Chelsea took care of business against Watford in the all-London affair. 3-0 in the end. This was on the 4th of July. Oliver Giroud, Willian and Ross Barkley on the score sheet for Chelsea on this one. I actually went with a 3-0. I got this one bang on the pissing nose, boys. Bang on the pissing nose. That's right. Leicester also took care of business against Crystal Palace. I think Vardy got a brace on this one. And Akechi Iheanacho got the other one as well. So 3-0. I actually went with a 3-1, not too bad as well. Liverpool left it late against Aston Villa, 2-0 in the end for the champions. 3-1 I went. Curtis Jones, who's been forever linked with Rovers for a loan move, and Sadio Mane on the score sheet as well on that one. But yes, Liverpool back to winning ways. Another team that continued their winning ways is Manchester United's 5-2 demolition of Bournemouth, who seem to be going one way and then one way only, and that's back to the Championship. That's right. Greenwood with a brace, Rashford, Martial, and Bruno on the score sheet with goals from Junior Stanislas, ex-Dingle, and Joshua King, ex-Rover. That's right. 5-2 in the end. I actually went with the 4-0 win, so not too bad. If we ended it right there, I would have been happy with that. Just the one blip, and that would have been them freaks. But onwards we go. St James's Park, 2-2. It was the Geordies against the Hammers. 2-2 in the end. Almiron Shelby for the Toon, who fought back twice against West Ham. Antonio got the goal as well for Hammers, and Thomas Souček as well. All square in the end. 2-2. Actually went with a 2-0 win for the Geordies. Not good on this one. Norwich took, they played Brighton at Carrow Road. 1-0 win in the end for Brighton. I think it was Trollard on the score sheet. That was all the way back. When was that game? That game was on Saturday. It was the early kickoff. Leonardo Trossard is the scorer. I actually went with Brighton as well. 2-1 in the end. That's a good win for Brighton. Keeps their head above water and away from the chasing pack in the drop. Surprise though was of course St Mary's 1-0 winners over Manchester City at Southampton. Che Adams with the one and only goal. He doesn't score many, but he scored the big one. He scored the big one today. Maybe he gets that hoodoo off his back and he'll start to bang him in. He is still pretty young and he's still very, very good. And I'm sure they'll get the best of that out of him. Anyway, yeah, a bit of a shock defeat there for City. Of course, they've put on a performance midweek, but yeah, lost to say Spurs against Everton. We don't know. It's a mystery. I went with a 2-1 win for City on that one. But yeah, the Spurs game will play today and there will be a result. But we are looking at the predictions regardless. But just to recap, I'm going with a 2-2 draw in this one. Everyone takes home a point, which will probably not suit anyone. I think they're both trying to push up for late pushes for Europe. But I just don't know. I just don't think who's going to be the bigger team at the end of the season and get into the maybe Europa League spots and beyond. And then wrapping up, Wolves they lost to Arsenal 2-0 at Molineux. It was a good result for Arsenal. Saka and Lacazette on the score sheet. I actually went in favour of a draw on this one, 2-2. But ultimately, not too bad. If you take a look at the whole grand scheme of things, I've got 2, 4, 5 out of 9, which is over half, 50%, which puts me in the straight-based club. But this is the situation that we want to talk about. It's the table. Liverpool, of course, running away with it. City are still in second. Leicester are third, albeit for now. Chelsea are fourth, just 1 point adrift. And Man United are fifth, 3 points adrift of Leicester City. Wolves, Arsenal and Sheffield United in the chasing pack for Europa League spots at the moment. Norwich, Bournemouth and Villa going down as it stands. You're looking at possibly West Ham and Watford still getting sucked into this. Brighton just to keep their heads above water. They could still get sucked into it, but realistically it's looking like two from 4, really. I think Norwich are already doomed. I don't know the mathematical equations, how many they need to how many games they've got left and all that, and the points equations. I can figure it out, but it's too early in the morning. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, a.m. So that's the situation for me. Now, what about you guys? Let's take a little look. Now, before we jump into it, I want to shout out give you a bit of a reminder. Now, before we do that, I want a bit of a reminder for you guys. Next season, we're going to be introducing the Prediction League. That's right. Where anybody and everybody who does take part in the old predictions puts the name in the comments, and then they put the predictions in. Basically, you're entering in the Prediction League. But you've got to come back, of course, on a consistent basis to maintain that average. And at the end of the season, one of yous, or maybe multiples of yous, depending on how it all works out, will be crowned the Prediction King for your respective division. And in this example, we're talking about the Premier League. Now, if you want to, you can participate in one or all of the leagues that I'm going to be predicting next season. That includes the Championship, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Champions League, Europa League, some even into maybe even the Euro 2021 or whatever they're going to call it. I'm going to be predicting all of them, and they'll be all respective grand prize winners will receive a t-shirt with the Prediction King emoji on it, and then maybe the league name of like the Premier League or whatever. I'm still working on the fine-tune things of that, but make sure you stick around. And in order to do that, you got to smash the subscribe and of course hit the bell so you don't miss a video whenever it comes out. So you can be in there first out the blocks, get your name in, get your predictions in. And of course, we'll see how you get on next time out. But for example, let's take a look at how everybody got on this past weekend. Woo! Let's get into it and have a look at the prediction. It's flashing. Let's go. So we can start with Fishing Frenzy. He did pretty well for himself. Arjen Kuma, not too shabby. Imbush Daniel, not too bad. Riz Latish also did very, very well. Keaton Zamerli, not too shabby. Mark Chapman, he also did very, very well. Schmocky Lad. Now this one, hang on a minute. I've got a bit of a snotty nose, but snotty predictions from Schmocky Lad. Now I saw him because he's got an interesting name, Schmocky Lad. It does stand out. But I saw him, his original predictions, and then he edited them. For example, Manchester United 5, Bournemouth 2, Leicester City 3, Crystal Palace 0, Wolves 0, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 3. They're all the correct scorelines. Now that's either he is flipping Mystic Meg in disguise, or he might have did a bit of shady business. So I'm giving him the top banana, but realistically, deep down, I know he doesn't deserve it. So try and be honest with yourselves, boys. We don't want to, because I'm going to be a prediction Nazi next season. I'm going to be going through all of these, and I'm going to be so, as soon as you make your predictions, they're in the system. Even if you edit them, the original ones will stand. So Schmucky Lad, yeah, you might have got a top banana, but how real is that top banana? Yeah. You ask yourself that. Moving on, Mohamed Rafi, he did pretty well for himself. Liam Martin, not too shabby. Cody Cahoe, respect to my brother. Prediction Meister, Patreon, yes, respect. He did okay as well, not too bad. Byron Oates did okay. He did shit, actually. He did shit. Dominic Thomas, not too shabby. Charlie Pagnam also did very, very well. Vincent Hung, regular on the old predictors, not too shabby. And Miles A did pretty well. Moving on, LG and Cow, another respect to my brother. He is a Patreon. Big love. That's it. He did pretty well as well, not too shabby. Guna Matsi, not too shabby. Ilmichin Nosa Isa he did pretty well for himself. Okay, did okay. Luka Kajicevic, he did pretty well for himself. Omar Esquivel, not too bad. The Italian Stalin, not too shabby. Osin Murphy, not too shabby. Brad Pitt Petford, not bad indeed. Costas K also did pretty well. Keith Onang Chang Yi did pretty well. And Mike Harding did absolute shit. Moving on, Yao for VMPP, not too bad. Global Manifestics, pretty cool name there. Brett Rogger also did very, very well. But Tobago Benedict Moraine, he did pretty well. Bianca Mola, respect to you, Patreon. And he did very well as well, not bad as well. Joachim Johansson, respect to Manoko Drinker, Patreon, love, much love, but today you did poop. Classic Rohan 5555, top 6 clubs, 5 Limbu FC football. He did top banana. And I don't think there was an edit in sight. You might need to tweak your name a little bit. It's a bit of a mouthful. Shepherd, the new one, the new ledge, William Shepherd. Thank you, respect to you for being a patron. You do get a straight face game. I'm on it. I'm all over it. So this time you got your straight face club and you got your flashing P. It might not be flashing, but it's there. Rajit Kaur, not too shabby. Yul Motorero, not too bad. Harrison Crane did very, very well. Football Mapper, not too bad as well. Jack Watson did pretty well. I love Chelsea. No, I don't, but he got an edit and he did straight face gang. Zayed Armero, he did top banana with an edit. I'm watching you too as well. Yannick Buster, not too shabby. Brilliant builder, not too bad. Yenis Sol, not too shabby. Danny Klinger, he did okay. Sid Mustafa, not too shabby with an edit. Ija Ujan Bossis, did very, very well as well. Caesar Julio, not too shabby. The Aston Villa. Seal, not too shabby. Hongmang Wanami, not too bad. Tom Ellis did pretty well for himself. Roberto Hollis, not too shabby. Russell Frost, respect to you. Big lad with the brilliant predictions. And, of course, Patreon King. Fabian Gouet did pretty poop. And wrapping it all up, Manchester United did okay. And they did okay because they put 5 past Bournemouth. So, here we go. Jumping into the next round of matches. Of course, this game's taking place from Tuesday onwards. And, again, like I said, I'm not covering the Tottenham Everton game that was previously. And it's going to be going on probably as we speak. But let's jump into things. These games are coming at you left, right and centre over the next few days. We're going to start with, Bournemouth. We're starting off with Bournemouth. They're going to be taking on Tottenham, of course. And again, like I said, their form heading into this could be different because they could come into this on the back of a 6-0 win against Everton. You just don't know. So we're going to bear that in mind as we make our predictions. Anyway, the last 6 encounters between two sides is 1 win, just 1 win for Bournemouth, 5 wins for the Spurs. Heading into this, they played at the Fancy Pants new stadium at Tottenham, 3-2 win. Way back in November. Dele Alli with the brace. Sissoko as well on score. Henry Wilson also got a couple of goals for Bournemouth. Heading into this, Bournemouth actually lost their last 5 matches in the Premier League. They've also conceded at least 2 goals in 7 of the last 8 matches in the Premier League. Heading into this, just 1 win in the past 5 for Spurs, both before and after the lockdown. That was against West Ham a couple of games back. Meanwhile, Bournemouth, like I said, 5 defeats on the spin in the Premier League. So not looking good for them at the moment. Bookmakers odds on this one, where are you? Taking place on Thursday the 9th of July. 4-1 for Bournemouth for the victory, 3-1 is the draw, and then we've got 8-13 on. 13-8 on for Spurs for the victory. They could come into this, of course. They could go into this on 48 points already, and this would push them over the line to 51 points. But let's just say we'll exclude that game against Everton, and I say they're going to get, a win could put them up to 48 points. I'm going to give it to a 0-0 draw on this one. Then both not really firing on all cylinders. Spurs are a little bit wobbly. I think they want the season to be ended so they can start rebuilding. With the first full season of Mourinho. Bournemouth, of course, the point with it for them would mathematically get them out of the drop zone, but depending on what goes on with Watford and Aston Villa this week. Next up, we have Arsenal. They're going to be taking on Leicester, 2 former Premier League winners, locking horns at the Emirates. The last 6 encounters sees 3 wins for the Gunners, 3 wins for the Leicester. Heading into this, they did play early in the season at the Emirates. It was a 2-0 win. At the King Power, it was a 2-0 win for Leicester. Vardy and Madison on the score sheet. The last time played in London was a 3-1 win back in 2018. Aubameyang with a brace, Ozil as well. Hector Bellerin put the ball in the back of his own net. Arsenal actually won their last 9 home matches against Leicester in all competitions, and they've also won the last 4 matches in the Premier League. They're looking pretty good at the moment. Just the one blip. Actually 2 blips since the old reboot, losing to Man City on day 1. And then Brighton the next day. But since then, it's been looking good. Comfortable wins against Southampton, an FA Cup victory against Sheffield United, beating Norwich, and of course beating Wolves. But what about Leicester? They've come back into this. Just 1 win at the past since the old reboot. That was, of course, against Crystal Palace last time around. They got the hoodoo off the back, the high jinx off their back. This game will take place on Tuesday the 7th of July, 30-10 for Arsenal for the victory, 2-1 for Leicester, 5-2 is the draw. Arsenal coming to this in 7th. They could be go as high as, well, they could go mathematically above Wolves if they're victorious over Leicester. Meanwhile, speaking of Leicester, they are third at the moment. They need to maintain a victory or bring a victory to remain third. I don't see it though. I think Arsenal are going to snatch it 3-1 in the end and give Arsenal a boost and a bit of a dent to Rodgers' Leicester City boys as they try to get Champions League. I want to see them get Champions League football, but I think they're going to slip up this time around. Next up, we have Aston Villa. They're going to be taking on Manchester United, one of the form teams in the division at the moment. Heading into this, the last 6 encounters see 0 wins for Villa, 2 draws and 4 wins for United. That is correct. They did play at Old Trafford earlier in the season. It was a 2-2 draw. Tom Heaton with the big fat OG and Victor Lindelof for United, Grealish and Mings on the score sheet for Villa. The last time played in Villa was a 1-0 win for United. That was back in 2015. It was, of course, since then, of course, Villa were in the Championship for a couple of seasons as well. Heading into this, Man United looking absolutely solid. Just one blip on the old reboot, and that was a draw against Spurs. Since then, it's been win after win after win after win in all competitions, including the victory against Norwich in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, Villa just 2 points out of the possible 15 since the old reboot, picking up a draw against Newcastle and a draw against Sheffield United. In fact, a game that they probably should have lost that one. Heading into this, the bookmakers' odds. This game takes place on. When does it? It does take place on Thursday, the 9th of July. Aston Villa are 8-1 long shots, 10-3 for 10-3 on for Manchester United, and 9-2 for the draw. Win for United could see him leapfrog above Leicester into third. Would you believe it? And a win for Aston Villa in 18th. Could get him at the drop zone at the expense of Watford. But I can't see anything but a bit of a tonking because Man United looks solid at the moment. 4-1 win in the end. Keep an eye on that Greenwood fella. He's going places. Next up, Brighton Hove Albion. They're going to be taking on the champions. That's right. It's confirmed. Liverpool at the Amex. The last 6 encounters see 6 wins for Liverpool out of these two sides, stretching all the way back to 2012 match in the FA Cup. They did play at Anfield early in the season, so 2-1 win for Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk with the brace. Alisson got himself sent off, and Lewis Dunk with the only goal for Brighton. Liverpool actually won the last 7 matches against Brighton in all competitions. That stretches back further. Liverpool have actually failed to score in the last 3 away matches, though. That's a bit of bad news for them. But heading into this, they're 5-1 for Brighton for the victory. 10-3 is the draw. 15-8 on victory for Liverpool. So they're stone cold favourites. Of course, they're champions. They're not really. I'm sure they're trying to get the biggest points haul in the Premier League history. I don't know if it's still on the cards, but they'll need to keep on winning. But Brighton coming into this, of course, in 15th spot, 36 points. A win for them would put them up to 39, and I think would be mathematically safe from the drop in my eyes. But I'm going with a Liverpool victory. Of course, we are 3-1 win. Even if they play the reserves, I think they'll have too much in the tank to get over the line. Next up, we have Crystal Palace against Chelsea in an all-London affair. This game takes place on Tuesday, the 7th of July. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for Palace, 4 wins for Chelsea, and 0 draws. They played at Stamford Bridge early in the season. It was a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Abraham and Pulisic on the score sheet. The Americano from just down the road. He lived just down the road. Well, about 2 hours down the road in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The makers of the chocolate. Google it. Anyway, the last they played at Stamford Bridge, at Selhurst Park was a 1-0 win for Chelsea. That's where you've got to go all the way back to 2017 for Crystal Palace's last victory at home against Chelsea. Chelsea have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 7 matches, and Chelsea have also won the last 4 matches against Crystal Palace in all competitions. That's right. Just the one blip for Chelsea since the old reboot. That was a defeat against West Ham. It's been 3 defeats on the spin for Crystal Palace in all competitions. In fact, in just the Premier League, losing to Liverpool, Burnley and Leicester since their opening reboot victory against Bournemouth. Seems a long, long time ago. Bookmakers' odds on this one does take place on the 7th of July. 6-1 for Chelsea, 7-2 for the draw, 20-9 on for Chelsea for the victory. Crystal Palace are in 14th and win away from them to go into the top 10 at the expense of Tottenham if they're victorious against Chelsea. Chelsea are 4th, a win for them could see them leapfrog Leicester into 3rd. That's what I'm seeing, folks. I can't see anything but a Chelsea victory. They're looking good. The grooves are in place. Next season it could be very, very interesting for them with of course Timo time. They've got the other fella from Ajax. They've got who else is coming in there? But of course they've got some really solid play. Pulisic is now stepping up to the plate. So it could be a very, very interesting Chelsea next year. And I'd like to see them in the Champions League again. At the expense of Man City. Next up we have Everton against Southampton. 2 teams doing okay. Like course, Southampton. I've been battling against them really, but and this one's going to probably go against them once again. But they, of course, they an impressive victory against Manchester City last time. But their form is pretty good at the moment. We'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, the last 6 encounters between these two sides, these 2 wins for the Toffees, 3 wins for St Mary's, the Southampton boys, and 1-0. The Saints, that's right, and 1 draw between the 2 sides. They played at St Mary's early season. It was a 2-1 win for Everton. Tom Davies and Rick Carlson on the score sheet for Everton. Danny Ings gave on the score sheet. However, the last time they played at Goodison was a 1-1 draw in the League Cup back in 2018. Southampton came on top after penalties, but the last time played at Goodison in the league was a 2-1 win for Everton. That's right, Walcott, Rickarson again, and Danny Ings. It's kind of like a carbon copy. Everton actually undefeated in the last 9 home matches in the Premier League. That's the form. That's the stat for me that's going to probably battle against Southampton on this one. So I love Southampton. My mate used to work there, and we used to go down there fair amount of time. I got now, and I used to love back in the day in the 90s, Letitia and Co. And we bought a couple of players from Southampton way back. I like Southampton. I got nothing. They're a Premier League side. If I was to make the dream Premier League 20, Southampton would be in there, of course. They're a phenomenal. They had some really good times way back when in the early years of the Premier League time, and of course they've plummeted down the football ladder and fought their way back, producing top quality content, top quality talent. I've got nothing but respect. So that was just a little bit of a response to a couple of comments in previous prediction shows. But I love Southampton, I do. But hey, this might not go their way. Yeah, I'm just saying. Anyway, the bookmakers' odds on this one, between these two sides, Everton against Southampton does take place on Thursday the 9th of July. Evens for Everton for the victory, 5-2 is the away win, 30-5 is the draw. A win for Everton in 13th spot could push them up all the way up to 9th spot above Burnley. Goodness gracious me. And a win for Everton as well could also push them above above Burnley into 9th. But I'm going to go with the 2-0 win for Everton. I love Southampton, but I think Everton are going to get it in the end. Manchester City are going to take on Newcastle United this midweek as well, taking place on the 8th of July. Of course, Man City want to bounce back after that surprise defeat to Southampton, of course. Anyway, heading in, against the Geordies, the last 6 encounters sees 4 wins for the former champions, 1 draw and 1 win for the Toon. They played at St James's Park just a couple of days ago, actually, in the FA Cup. It was a 2-0 win for City, De Bruyne and Sterling on the score sheet. However, they did play in St James's Park early in the season in the Premier League. It's a 2-2 draw. Sterling, De Bruyne again on the score sheet for City, but this time Jetro Williams and John Joe Shelby on the score sheet for the Geordies. Last time they played in the league against Manchester City, it was a 2-1 win for City as well. So they're not losing, they're not getting tonked left, right, and centre. But heading into this, of course, City have actually won 10 of the last 11 home matches against Newcastle in all competitions. They've also scored at least 2 goals in the last 8 home matches as well, and also winning 7 of the last 8 matches at home in the Premier League. Heading into this, of course, Newcastle not too shabby form at the moment, just 1 defeat in the past 6. That was against Manchester City in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, City's form is okay for their standards. 2 defeats in the past 6 games in all competitions, losing to Chelsea and also losing to Southampton. We just mentioned it already. Heading into this, the bookmakers' odds on this will take place on Wednesday, the 8th of July. 8-1 on for Manchester City. They are red hot favourites. 8-1 is the draw. 20-1 is the away win for the Toon. A win for the Newcastle in 12th could see them rise above Burnley into 9th. That's right. And a win for City in 2nd could strengthen their foothold there for any late drama in the end. But of course, you're a crazy man to bat against Man City at home. 4-1 win, even with or without the fans. So a comfortable win for City for me. Next up, we have Sheffield United taking on Wolves. Not last season. A couple of seasons back, these were both in the Championship and beyond. Anyway, let's take a look at these then, shall we? Heading into this, the last 6 encounters sees 1 win for the Blades, 3 wins for the Wolves, and 2 draws between 2 sides. They'll take place on 8th of July, which is a Wednesday. The last match early in the campaign at Molineux was a 1-1 draw. Doherty on the score sheet for Wolves, Mousset on the score sheet for Sheffield United. The last time played at Sheffield was in the Championship. It was a 2-0 win for the Blades as well. Liam Clark with the brace, Connor Cody getting himself sent off. Wolves actually won the last 3 away matches in the Premier League, and they come into this just 1 defeat in the past 6 in the grand scheme of things. That was against Aston last time out. Sheffield United have not the greatest bit of form at the moment. 1 win at the past 6. Losing 3 in that cluster as well against Arsenal, Man United and Newcastle United. But they did pick up a nice result against Spurs and a savvy result against Burnley in the end. Heading into this, the bookmakers' odds on this one. 14-5 for Sheffield United, 11-5 is the draw, and 11-10 is the away win. So Wolves probably shading it this one. The win for Wolves could see them leapfrog Manchester United into 5th. Went for Sheffield United in 8th, could see them leapfrog above Arsenal into 7th. It's going to be a tight old fair, but I think Wolves will nick it in the end. 2-1 in for them to boost their Champions League hopes. Goodness gracious me. Watford up against Norwich, battling the big boys here at the bottom of the table. If you're going to save yourselves, now's the time to do it. It's a monstrous 6-pointer. Norwich need to win pretty much everything, but Watford need to win this one to really give themselves a big old boost. Anyway, the last 16 encounters sees 2 wins for the Hornets, 4 wins for the Canaries, 0 draws between 2 sides. They played at Carrow Road early in the season. It was a 2-0 win for Watford. Gerard Defalololu on the score sheet, Andre Gray also on the score sheet, and Christian Calabase get himself sent off. However, the last time they played at Vicarage Road was back in 2015, where both of these 2 teams were in the Premier League. Again, Troy Deeney and Agallo on the score sheet as well for Watford. Norwich actually failed to score in 8 of the 9 last matches in the Premier League. They've also lost the last 5 matches Watford have also lost their last 3 matches, so the two teams in absolute woeful form. The last time Watford were victorious was against Liverpool, of course, before the lockdown. Norwich just look absolutely lost at sea at the moment. They don't know when the next result or point is coming. Heading into this match takes place on Tuesday the 7th of July, 30-8 on for Watford. They are red hot favourites. 3-1 is the draw, 9-2 is the away win for the Canaries on this one. Of course, Watford come into this, in fact, Norwich come into this 21 points on the board, 20 from the table. Win would give them 24 points, and maybe, just maybe, the dream is still alive, but they need to win this game. As for Watford, a win for them could see them up to 31 points, which should see them leapfrog West Ham in the process. I'm going with a win for my old soft spot, that is Watford 2-0 win at Vicarage Road. And finally, it's the Battle of the Shields. It's West Ham United up against them six-fingered freakazoids. It's the turd houses. It is Burnley, that's right. Heading into this, of course, the last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for the Hammers, 3 wins for Burnley, and 1 draw between 2 sides. Heading into this, they played at Turdmore early in the season, so a 3-0 win for Burnley. Ashley Barnes, the Austrian, Chris Wood, the Kiwi, and Roberto Jimenez with the OG in the end. Last night they played at London, that was a 4-2 win for the Hammers. Ardsnatovic, Philippe Anderson with the brace, and Chigarito on the score sheet for West Ham. Johan Goodmanson and Chris Wood once again on the score sheet for Burnley. Heading into this, Burnley have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 4 matches against West Ham in all competitions, but they're also undefeated in 10 of the last 11 matches in the Premier League. That's right. That form is okay. Just one blip out of the past 6 for them. That was losing against Manchester City a couple of games back. So a 3-game unbeaten run for Burnley. Meanwhile, West Ham United have just won once in the past 5. That was against Chelsea, though, but they did pick a solid result at in Newcastle not too long ago. Heading into this game does take place on Wednesday, the 8th of July. 29-20 is for West Ham, the odds. 12-5 is the draw. 11-4 is the away win. Win for Burnley in 9th, could see them rise above Arsenal into 7th, goodness gracious me. And a win for the Hammers, who are in 16th spot. Could see them strengthen their relegation survival hopes. That's all I can say, really. I'm going to go with the Hammers, of course I am. Don't trust that Dingles. No way, Jose. But let's just say, between you and I, all of this magic comes in bang on the piston nose. This is what the Premier League will look like at the end of match day number 34. That's right, Liverpool will be top of the pops, of course they are. They're running away with it. Manchester City will be second with 69 points, of course, and then Chelsea 3rd, Leicester City 4th in the Champions League spots, and then Manchester United will be technically in the Champions League spots, depending on what goes on with City's lawsuit or whatever. Wolves 6th, Arsenal 7th, down the foot of the table, Norwich, Villa and Bournemouth going down to the Championship to play Rovers, which I'm pretty much sure will happen. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, folks, and again, before we bounce out of it, I want to remind you again about the Prediction League. Be sure to stick around next season for the Prediction League. Just, do what you do. Put your predictions in. You'll be entering into the Prediction League. And then at the end, you'll be able to, even if you don't win it, you'll still be able to get your average of how good a predictor you are. Whether it's 67% accuracy, 12% accuracy, 0% accuracy, whatever it is. But yeah, be sure to check that out whenever that comes live, and that'll be starting in the new season. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. And of course, if you are new, smash the subscribe. New videos every single day. I try to anyway. And if you want to support the channel in another way, there is Patreon, where there is a link to that in your description down below. Patreon.com/RoadSeas. Just like William Shepherd. Respect to you for joining the illustrious gang. So yes, Premier League is starting to hot up in regards to the Champions League spots, and of course those relegation spots. And again, we'll be a little bit clearer come Thursday when we'll next have the next prediction show. But until then, boys and girls, hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you all next time around. Be safe out there, wear a mask, 6-foot distance and all that kind of jazz. Stay safe. See you all soon. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.